Sure, look, winning the league with an immaculate defensive record isn't for everyone, Arsenal. It isn't for everyone. Hello guys, how you getting on? My name's Aaron Kelly and you're very welcome back to another episode of the Premier League Verdict. I hope you guys are keeping well. If you do go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. We're also nearly at 100 subscribers on this channel, which is just bloody brilliant. So if you could hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, that would be A1. Thank you very much. You know what isn't A1? Arsenal's defensive record. If they may go on to win the league this year, they might, but they're not going to go on to win it with as good a defensive record as Chelsea in 2004-05, which just makes me sleep that little bit better at night. You know what I'm saying? Mikel Arteta's side were defeated by 3-2 at the Emirates by Michael Carrick's Manchester United. And I have to say, an incredible performance by Man United, a 3-2 win, and definitely a case of that new manager bounce. A lot of people will probably look at it now and say United could very well go on a great run between now and the end of the season, maybe finish in the Premier League's top four, get Champions League football again, and surely then they'd have to give Michael Carrick the job. But I've seen this script before with Man United. They did it with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that did not end particularly well either. But unfortunately, if Carrick does well and he continues the way they're going and they do finish in the top four, he gets them back into Champions League football, I'm afraid the Manchester United's owners' hands will be tied. They will have to keep him, and I don't think he's going to be someone that's going to lead them on to getting back to where Man United needs to be, which is challenging for Premier League titles. But it would be a fantastic achievement nonetheless if he does get them back into the Premier League's top four. And I got to talk about Arsenal for a bit, alright? Because surely now, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're looking at the table, you're looking at the points tally, you're looking at the difference, you're looking at Manchester City closing in. There's only 4 points between them and Man City. Villa closing in now as well in third. Surely you've got to be sweating. Just ever so slightly. Like, Arsenal fans, you've been here before. You have seen it many, many times where you were leading the top of the table at Christmas, leading the way 7-8 points clear, and now that gap is reduced to 4. And I think the worrying thing is a lot of people have been talking about Arsenal all season about the boring style of football that they play, and I think ultimately that could be their undoing come the end of the season. I have some stats here from some of the Arsenal forwards, and it makes for pretty worrying reading if you're an Arsenal fan. So we've got Bukayo Saka there, no goals in his last 13 appearances in all competitions. Fucking crazy. Star boy, by the way. Victor Gyökeres, potentially one of the worst strikers in the league, which, if you're, the main man for Arsenal, it's not great. 0 non-penalty goals in his last 11 Premier League appearances. Gabriel Martinelli, Gabe Martin, people call him. 0 goals in his last 13 Premier League appearances. Noni Madueke, who Arsenal fans were laughing at Chelsea. We're like, we've taken one of your best wingers off you. Lads, I'm not being funny. We told you. If you looked back at mine and Mark's pre-season predictions video at the start of the season, when we heard that Arsenal were going to come in and try and sign Noni Madueke for 52 million, we were like, fucking have him. Absolutely have him. 0 goals in 25 Premier League appearances for Noni. So that's pretty decent going. Now, I know he's not a goal scorer necessarily, but he doesn't particularly contribute. I know he's had a lot of the season out with injury as well, but not great reading. And then the only player on this list in any sort of form, quote unquote, is Leandro Trossard with 1 goal in his last 11 appearances. So that's your forwards. That's the players who you're relying on to score against the opposition, and they're not looking particularly poignant at the minute, let's say that. But you look at the main goal threat that Arsenal have had all season. It's been from set pieces, and it's been let's fuck it into the box for that spud head Marino to get in on the end of it and hopefully get a header or a flick on or an easy goal. And that's exactly like the state of Marino's goal yesterday. And of course, an own goal was the opening goal of the game for Arsenal. And you look at the way Man United played. Like, in fairness, fucking rock and roll football. Terrific goal from Dorgu. The winner from Matheus Cunha was absolutely brilliant. The way he wraps his foot around that ball and bends it into the corner past David Raya is just absolutely incredible. And 3-2 makes it look like a lot tighter of a game than it was. But Man United, based off a team who actually wanted to go out and try and win. I said this about Arsenal back in August when Liverpool beat them 1-0 back in August at Anfield at Szoboszlai free kick. Arsenal looked shit scared, and that, unfortunately, looks to be exactly what's happened here once again. When it comes to the big games, Arteta just wants to try and protect, and ultimately it could be his undoing. What a win for Manchester United. Takes them back up into the top 4. Chelsea were temporarily there yesterday as well. They obviously beat Crystal Palace by 3-1. It was a game that worried me. Even though Palace are in such poor form and they've had a terrible week. Oliver Glasner saying he's leaving at the end of the season. You've had obviously Mark Gahey signing for Manchester City. Mateta has said he wants to go as well. So things not looking good. And obviously the form on the pitch for Palace has been poor as well. But it was just set up lovely for Chelsea to just go, there you go, there's 3 points, there's 1 point. But luckily that didn't happen. A 3-1 win at Selhurst Park. Estevao Willian with the first goal. Terrible mistake by the Palace defence. But there's so many Chelsea players in this squad that would have panicked in that kind of situation. He had so much time to think about his finish, but he smashes it into the back of the net past Dean Henderson to give Chelsea the lead. João Pedro then with the second, really good composure, tucks inside onto his left foot, smashes it again past Henderson. No chance for the Palace goalkeeper. And then a Chelsea penalty from Enzo Fernandez pretty much wrapped the game up. Palace did get what was a consolation goal in the end, nothing more than that. But look, a win is a win, a big win for Liam Rosenior. Obviously Liverpool were defeated by Bournemouth the other night as well on Saturday evening, so there was a big opportunity there for Chelsea to really stake their claim to get back into the top 4. That is what they did, of course, before Manchester United's win. But I don't know about Chelsea, man. It's definitely the best performance under Rosenior so far. There hasn't been too many great competition for that honour, but a win is a win. You take it. I know I said Palace have been struggling, but Chelsea, all that was needed was the 3 points, and that's what they got. And I have to say, some decent football played as well, and some decent goals scored as well. Jobs are good. We're going to wrap up with just, we will talk about Liverpool briefly. Worrying times for them, isn't it? It's fair to say they were defeated by Bournemouth. A last minute goal in the I think it was Adley with it. It was a long throw in, 3-2. And similar to Man United, like fully deserved for Bournemouth, I think it's fair to say. They went 2-0 up. Liverpool dragged themselves back into it. Szoboszlai, who has been that guy for Liverpool so many times this season. Wonderful finish from the free kick to make it 2-2. And then, as it has happened so many times for Liverpool this season, it just capitulated and completely fell apart. So 3-2 to Bournemouth. A really poor result for Liverpool. I can't believe that Arne Slot is still in charge. I don't really know how long it's going to take before Liverpool do pull the plug on him, because the drop off this season from being champions last year and falling as far as they have has been really unacceptable, to be honest. And that's why I'm looking at the likes of him, even Thomas Frank at Spurs, a 2-2 draw with Burnley the weekend. They're scrapping in and around the relegation zone again, are Tottenham Hotspur. I don't know how Thomas Frank is still in charge. Like, please, someone explain to me now. Tottenham fans, let me know in the comments how and why does Thomas Frank still have a job? So listen, that is where we're going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts on the weekend's games in the comment section down below. Nice to be back doing these kind of longer form videos. I'd like to do a podcast with someone soon, a kind of longer form podcast like we've done. We've had a Chelsea fan on, we've had a Man United fan on, maybe a Liverpool fan or a Spurs fan on at some point, because things are kind of falling apart, or maybe even an Arsenal fan. Can't guarantee we won't have a scrap though. Alright, that's where we'll wrap it up, lads. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to subscribe like I just said, because we're nearly at 100 subscribers. I've really fucked this outro. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care and peace.